Hi, I'm Emma and I'm going to make a video today about atomic structure. So I'm going to title it WJEC GCSE because I live in Wales, and I just want to start by saying I just want to try to help you understand atomic structure the way I understand it. So I may not be the most intelligent chemist out there, but I really think if you listen to me and you don't understand atomic structure, by the end of the video, hopefully you will. So I'll start off with atoms. So atoms are all around us. The whole universe is made of atoms. You might have heard, I feel like in Key Stage 3 we call them particles, and then we move on to the word atoms when we get to GCSE, which is a bit confusing. So the whole universe is made of these particles, and in GCSE, in your exam, they will call them atoms. Now, all these atoms can be found on the periodic table. For next video, hopefully I'll have a periodic table for you, but obviously I'm not very organised to have done that this time. So there's about 100-ish, a bit more than that, different atoms, different types of atoms. The universe is made of trillions, you know, massive number. I'm not very good with big numbers. I could probably get to trillion. The universe is made of so many of these different atoms, but there are only about 100 different types. So you've got oxygen, that's one type. Carbon is another type. Hydrogen is another type. And they're all dotted on this periodic table. Now, the only difference between all of these different types of atoms is what's inside them. Now, every single one of them have got 3 ingredients. I call them ingredients just so you can think about it. Science, you're probably supposed to call them subatomic particles. But what I find is when you're in high school, who is going to remember that really? So if you think each atom of oxygen has 3 ingredients. Each atom of hydrogen has 3 ingredients. So if they've got the same ingredients, I'd want to explain to you why they're not the same. And that's because they have a different amount of each ingredient. All right. So we'll start off with the ingredients. The 3 ingredients are protons, neutrons, and electrons. All right. So this video is about atomic structure. And what that means is what is inside an atom. And they used to think when they first started discovering atoms that nothing was smaller than the atom. I think atom means to not cut. But further down the line, they realised that all of these atoms had 3 ingredients in them. So you could break them down. And they're called subatomic particles. And they are protons, neutrons, and electrons. Okay? Another thing I think you should know in this video, I'm not going to make it too long, but another thing you should know is that they all have their own place inside of an atom. So if I was you, I would be thinking of an atom as like a round circle. For your exam, a round circle probably, yeah? And this is probably when you've been thinking about particles, this is what you would picture a particle looking like. But and when we're doing atomic structure for Chemistry GCSE, we have to start thinking about where the protons live, where the neutrons live, and where the electrons live. All right. So it's pretty easy when you think about it, because everything except for one thing lives in the middle. But we're not allowed to call it the middle. We have to call it a nucleus. That can be a little bit confusing for people that do biology. And in biology, a nucleus is the part of the cell that controls the cell. So in chemistry, a nucleus is the middle of an atom. Don't know why they're called the same thing. Not sure, not clever enough for that. But everything except for one thing lives in the middle, and the middle is called the nucleus. So the only thing that does not live in the middle, in the nucleus, are the electrons. So where do the protons live? In the middle, in the nucleus. Where do the neutrons live? In the middle, in the nucleus. Now the electrons, they live in something that we call the shells. So let's say you've got the nucleus, the middle. Then the shells look like the same sort of thing, really. They look like circles also. But generally, when you're drawing the atomic structure, you don't really draw the nucleus. We'll go into that. But the shells are where the electrons live. Where does everything else live? In the nucleus. Okay, so hopefully this video has helped you understand what is atomic structure. It's just the things that are in each atom. And all of the atoms in all of the universe have 3 things in them, 3 ingredients, and they are called subatomic particles, but you've got to know their names: protons, neutrons, and electrons. And everything except for the electrons lives in the center, in the middle, which we call the nucleus. And then the electrons live in the shells. Okay? Well, my name's Emma. Please feel free to request any videos where Chemistry GCSE is concerned, that I'll focus on just the chemistry for now. And I hope to see you again soon. Thanks.